So, welcome to the session for security inside Desigo CC. I have a situation here which I have not faced since a long time. A lot of new faces I don't know. So, my question in the very beginning is, who of you knows security, who's working with security? Either video, access control, or intrusion. Anybody? So, now I have a situation, none of 6, or none of 7 in this case. Doesn't matter. Talking about security. Sounds easy. It's only a video picture you want to see, isn't it? Like at home. You switch on your television and you see a video picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you switch the channel. Good. If you do the same for access control, hey, you only want to go to the door. You do it every time. You badge the door, go in. And the same on intrusion. You only want to protect that nobody comes in. Now, in reality, if you look behind, video, access control, intrusions are disciplines as large as building automation, as large as lighting, as large as fire. So they're a complete set of functionalities. There are multiple vendors you combine in the system. And what is worse, especially video and access control today are complete IT systems, which means PC-based, TCP/IP connections, routing, different systems connected, IT environment. Now, so what do we do if we say security? Inside Desigo CC, we have subsystems which we connect. We integrate video, we integrate access control, we integrate intrusion. Desigo CC is not a video system. It is not an access control system. It is not an intrusion system. It is integrating this technology, so the business logic for these disciplines are in components which we attach. And this attachment we do in 3 ways. Number 1 way is the external communication. What does external mean? You have a full-blown access control system, you have a full-blown video system with all the functionality, standalone capable. You connect it to Desigo CC and you get additional functionality either out of Desigo CC, into the access control, into the video system, or inside Desigo CC out of the VMS, out of the access control system. Number 1 possibility. So external system means you have a standalone system which you connect to Desigo CC. The second way is the embedded system. What does embedded mean? Please, it is not everything is inside Desigo CC again. It's still a software which you can install either under the Desigo CC machine or still separately, but it doesn't have an own UI anymore. Which means we have the embedded version right now only for video. If you take an embedded VMS, you have the complete VMS system as a server component, installed either separately on a separate machine or on the same machine as Desigo CC. But the complete operation is done in the Desigo CC client. The last one, not listed here, is used for intrusion. Like for fire, it is a standalone panel. And you do the commanding status information and events inside Desigo CC. There is no own intrusion UI normally. Only in the very high end. And this is not inside Desigo CC. Now, this has restrictions. If I use a single machine to install video and Desigo CC on the same machine, you have to think about hardware resources. You need resources for the clips you are storing, recording. If you record your video, you easily need terabytes of disk space. But you also need resources on the processor, on the CPU, on the GPU even, and also on the memory. Which means you can't have a full-blown system for thousands of cameras, and at the same time the Desigo CC on the same machine. So today we restrict this to 16 cameras, out of a reason. 16 cameras in recording full HD is using already round about 60% of the resources of a machine. So a small Desigo CC and a small video system can work together on one machine. On the other side, having a larger system and also having an access control system today asks for another deployment. Separate machines which are talking to each other. So you have a machine for video, you have a machine for access control, and you have a Desigo CC. Can be virtual machines, can be hardware. Benefit of this is maintenance. You have to maintain the video system, you have to update the video system. Can be done separately. You don't need to update also Desigo CC. We have seen this some days ago. We have updated an 8.1 Desigo CC with a video system on top. The smart one, we first updated the Desigo CC to 3.0. Then we have found out, it's 8.1. We need to update to Windows 10. So we updated Windows 10. Guess what happened? Video failed. Why? Because the video system is not capable of Windows 10, so need to update the video system. And now, after working several days on this one, it becomes more and more complex. So we decided, wipe the PC, start from scratch with Windows 10 directly. Easier. Less engineering effort in this case, because troubleshooting Windows is not so easy, especially an updated one. Okay. Again, if we talk about embedded and external VMS, we talk about functionality. In an external VMS, the add-on is you have an own client of the video management system. Typically in video, functionality of video is inside the client, like the joystick control. Video systems are installed on the machine, video clients especially. So if you connect a USB joystick, you connect it to the machine and you can access it. Take Desigo CC, we have a web client or a Windows app client which is downloaded and not installed. Can you access the USB? No. You're running in a sandbox. How can you do a joystick control on this one? We are working on this, we are working on solutions for this, but this is not so easy. So there are restrictions. Also, VMS systems are typically defined as running in a private area, because I can export the video clip, and the export of the video clip has private and sensitive data. It has your face on it. It has your ID on it, if you're in worst case, even your number plate on the car. You need to protect this data. If you do an export of this clip, somebody else can take it. Desigo CC, running on a web client, does not export the clip to the client. It only exports it to the server. But typically, a VMS exports to the client. So there are differences. These differences are listed in this table. So what is possible with the Desigo CC client? What is possible with a video client? What is possible with the combination of both? Yeah, there are some things which we implemented in Desigo CC which are not possible with a video management system. Typically the operating procedure steps. There are other things which are possible with the video system, not possible with the Desigo CC. So the most powerful option is to have both, but also the most expensive one. So it depends now on the customer, on the need of the customer, which solution to choose. The table can help you to decide. If somebody says, I need to have a joystick, I don't want to move my camera position with the mouse, you need an external VMS. But this is normally only by specific demands. So you have to be careful to look at it Not every functionality is available everywhere, but a lot of this is an interaction. So if we talk about 3.0, so we've released basically the current video solution with 2.0 and extended this step by step. In 3.0, we did several parts. First one, we support a new set of VMS versions. Clearly, video management systems have a release cycle of 3 months. Every 3 months, a new version. Desigo CC is not so fast yet, but at the same time, to adapt always to the newest version is not always worthwhile, because you have to go to the customer and update every 3 months. Still, we say we want to be compatible to the newest version, and this we do. Right now, we released a sales release and a product line news, which states the current versions of Surveillance VMS and Milestone X Protect, which we support. Attractive, out of the part, that Milestone and also Surveillance released new versions, which are smaller and less costly. There's even one, which is the Essential Plus on the Milestone, which is for free. You can get a video management system license for 8 cameras for free. And then you can use Desigo CC on top to connect your 8 cameras. Okay, in Desigo CC you have to pay for it, except for demos. So we have raised the limit of cameras to 1,000 and to an unlimited number of NVRs which we can support. These limits are not hard-coded limits. They are limits by testing. And these limits are out of the reason if you connect a lot of cameras to the VMS, and then you have to synchronize the VMS on restart. For example, you have a connection loss in between, or you have shut down the Desigo CC. It takes time to synchronize the data. And we say the limit of the synchronization is 8 minutes. This is our limit for testing. Everything above is not acceptable. So restarting a Desigo CC server takes a while. Restarting the VMS takes a while. Synchronization in between also takes a while. And the 8 minutes is the hardest limit we set. So if you want to have 1001 cameras, it works. Perhaps you need a second more. But somewhere there's a breaking point which says, okay, 2000 cameras will take 20 minutes. Not acceptable. Yeah? We are increasing this step by step. So we did some discussions with our vendor at Milestone in this case, and they increased the performance and they increased the concepts in the SDK to support more. So we'll step by step have a larger number of supported cameras inside Desigo CC2. Because once the synchronization is fast on their side, we can make it faster on ours too. Now, we have right now a limit still in our system which says we can display 16 video streams in parallel in the system manager and have another set with 16 parallel streams in an operating procedure. So in best case we can display 32 independent streams, but normally it is 16 for operation, 16 for eventing. This is the current limit in 3.0. We have, let's say, exceeded this in our testing, and we do this now in the next step, so the next delivery after 3.0, which will increase this to more than 60 streams. So inside the system manager, plus additional 60 inside the eventing. Now it becomes a problem of hardware. The more streams you have, the more performance you need, the better the graphic card needs to be. Think about displaying 4 monitors, PC monitors, each of them 32 streams. The graphic cards you need to buy cost something like $1,000. So it's becoming a part of hardware. It's not anymore Desigo CC at the limit. It is purely the operating system and the hardware. At the other side, we did additional things. We have inside 3.0, we have the audit trail. We have the pharma compatibility. We have the distribution. All this stuff. And in the very beginning, we decided that video supports this fully. So you can install video on one machine. You have one VMS system which you can connect to a distributed system. But every client of every distributed server can access video streams and can show them. So we reroute this information. We give the possibility to remotely control the system. Everything you need to access the video data if you have the right permissions. At the audit trail, clearly everything you do is logged, even whatever you do remotely. Yeah. Another thing which we did is that we have a high definition export. We on purpose choose the format MKV because this format has multiple benefits. One of them is it can be used for watermarking, can be signed. It has high definition and highly compressed. So we didn't use AVI as it is usually normally done or anything else, which would be easier from the perspective of the user to use. But especially the moment we go a step further with the data privacy, it would become cumbersome. And to allow something now and then to forbid it in the next step is not worthwhile. Also, we tested further VCA system, video content analysis, especially fence control with video, tripwire, for example, or also area protection, not advanced VCA like number plate recognition, identities, or object recognition. This is something we didn't do yet because this requires an additional metadata interface. And this we don't have yet in the platform. So even if I would like to do it, it's not possible right now. This is something for the near future. Now, we heard about licensing before in the session of Markus. In Desigo CC video, we wanted to keep the licensing stable. But in the end, we decided to two small changes. Number one small change is we introduced larger packages. 2,000 cameras or 1,000 cameras divided by 16 give a lot of packages and not always the right price. So we decided to introduce, especially for external VMS systems, to have a 128 camera license and also to support already a higher license for monitoring. The other part is that we use the embedded option license, so the video license itself, as it is, because there everything fits well, quite well. On the external VMS connectivity, you don't need the video option anymore. It is part of the standard package. Good. What does it mean? If you take Desigo CC, you order the license for embedded VMS. You get two licenses. You get the one for Desigo CC, and you get a second one for the VMS component. So it's a separate license concept. It's something we buy. We don't get for free. And then you add on top. Every camera license you buy in Desigo CC with embedded cameras delivers to you two licenses. One for Desigo CC, one for the camera. For the external VMS connectivity, you don't get the secondary license because you have to order the VMS license separately anyway. switching from here to access control. So in video, let's say integrating is easy. The problem is getting the pictures later on and getting the expertise, how to set up a camera, how to set up a system. This is something which is surveillance know-how. You need to have a video training to do it correctly. The Desigo CC you can do with an e-tutorial. I have the links for the e-tutorial here in the slides. So it's an integration part. But the real operation of a video surveillance, of video streams, is something which requires at least trained people, not always experts, but trained people. I would not recommend to set up an airport without expert know-how, by the way. Doing the same for access control. As I said, a similar discipline, similar large. You have card readers, you have doors, you have areas. You have a lot of, let's say, stuff around. But the more important part, both on video and access control, is you have very restrictive data privacy laws and regulations. An access control system can access HR data. You could find out, if it's done the wrong way, the salary of somebody else in the access control system. I've seen it this way already. So access control, video, work a lot of with private data. That's why one of the first steps was always to have the data privacy and the audit trail capabilities of Desigo CC adapted into this one. So even here on SiPass, this was one of the main focus. But even more so, in 2.1, we have done an intermediate step. We have integrated the access control system via BACnet. One difficulty of BACnet is it's not secure. It is an open protocol. Now, opening a door, closing a door is already bad enough. Doing other interactions with this interface would have been impossible. Yeah? Sending your data profile via this interface is not a good choice, isn't it? So, your address, your telephone number, everything else. I would immediately have broken the law. In Europe, in Switzerland, in Germany, even in Dubai. Yeah? And even the US says, no way. So, major part here is we knew that a new interface was developed for SiPass. A new SiPass version even, 2.7 was developed, which had a major focus on cybersecurity. So we did an intermediate step in the last version, 2.6.5, with the BACnet interface via a gateway, which was, let's say, more complex to set up than a simple interface to plug in. Now, we switched to the secure new interface of SiPass 2.7. And this one has major benefits. Number one, is very easy to set up. You don't even need the help. You enter exactly two datas: the URL of the SiPass server and the credentials of the user you log in with. That's it. Auto-discovery of all the objects, structuring of the objects, permissions, everything set automatically. So very easy to set up. On the other part is highly secure. So communication between the SiPass server and the Desigo CC is fully encrypted with a high profile encryption. We support now larger sizes. Again, 1,000 doors. Guess why? Because we want to see first how the new interface reacts to larger sizes. So restriction, again, artificial, not technology-wise. We have more information which we can provide, and you will see this coming up in the next steps. For example, what we release in the next release of Desigo CC is the possibility to trigger actions with the cardholder information, with the name of a cardholder, with an ID of a cardholder, but also with a group of cardholders. Yeah? Everybody with the name, no? Raphael or Edgar, triggers a certain action. Things like this can be done. And the step after this one will be to show exactly the data which is allowed. For example, You switch on the camera at the door because the doorbell rings. You see a face. You get a card ID from the badge. You get at the same time the badge information, which you're allowed to show, not everything. And you can compare. These are workflows which are envisioned for the next steps. And we're working on this one already. Yeah. But we also increase the capabilities. 5 SiPass servers per driver. 5 drivers per machine. Including fabs means 25 servers connected to Desigo CC. At least. We have not tested more because we run out of test environment. So we are working on larger sites on this level. Again, the distribution awareness, the long-term storage capabilities, the audit trail capabilities. So whatever is possible. And here, on the licensing, we did one thing, we didn't change the license. Even when we switched to a new technology, to a new system, to a new SiPass version, this license stays exactly as it was before. You use doors as information, you use security data points for IOs, and everything else as before. Okay. One of the things which is most difficult is always the question, what can I do with this? Now I have a video integration, now I have an integration of an intrusion system, I have an integration of an access control system. Now, what can I do with this one? Now, there are always a lot of questions about, can I use this workflow, can I use this workflow? What I provided here is a list of workflows, which was asked either by customers or by field engineers or by sales. And always wrote down how to solve it, which license or which information, which functionality you need, where do you solve it? For example, do it inside the video management system mobile client, or using Reno, mass notification, using it in SiPass itself. So this list of workflows I hope to extend, because I hope that I get also questions from you or from other people which are asking additional, can I do this, can I do that? I also wrote, no, not yet. Yeah, so it's easy to say, I want to swipe my card, I want to have invalid access, doable. Change the temperature for this specific card holder in this specific area. Needs 2 informations, the area and the card holder, and they need to be combined. This information we don't have yet in 3.0. As I said, in the next delivery, we have it. So that's why I said planned. The same happens on other functionalities. Doing this, really depending, can I do this? Can I have a video verification? Can I see the number plate? Number plate you can see, but you can't log it. You don't have the information inside Desigo CC later on. You only see the picture. So getting the picture is the easy part. Yeah? Having a TV is the easy part. Having the program data of the TV is the next step. And the same happens here. This list is an ongoing list and it's growing. Yeah, so have a look at it. You get this data, you have it inside the system. Yeah? You can exactly see, okay, is this workflow already listed and covered? Can I do this? If there's a new workflow requested by the customer, please feel free to ask. Yeah? Not everything is possible, but quite a lot. Okay, questions? Not yet. Too many information. Buffer overflow.
Too many new information.
Thank you.
Over.
Nothing?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Then I'm finished. Thank you very much. And please have a look at the links. There's a lot of information behind. You have the e-tutorials, you have the product information, but you also have movies. Not only standard movies, but training for basics also. What does it mean to set up a video camera? For example, if I set up my video camera that it looks to east, make sure that it doesn't see the sun in the morning, because then you don't see a picture anymore. You only see a sun. Yeah, not really. It's a white picture.
I like your video, the one where you're stealing the car.
Ah, yes. There are some sample videos which I normally use for simulation and for training. So Greg has these videos available, so he can give it to you if you need it, but only internally. Yeah, it's not for distribution. Some of them are Siemens-based, others are from our partners and vendors. So be careful to distribute things like this. Okay, thank you very much.